Welcome back. A lot of the time, we don't really think about emergency funds until we need them. And that's why we've got our financial pro, Mark Tripplett, joining us to talk about the importance of having money saved up for those life's twists and turns, just everything that gets thrown at us. And I imagine, Mark, do you have a lot of people who come in and, they have a plan? They're like, okay, this is what I want to focus on, blah, 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 but maybe they're forgetting this part of the puzzle.
It's either one extreme or the other.
Okay.
They have no emergency funds, or we find they have way more sitting in cash than they really need. And I think there needs to be a balance between those. Emergency funds are for the unexpected. That's one of the things if you've been living for a while, you know that life is going to throw you curveballs, expect the unexpected. And we like to see folks plan for those things that are likely to happen, but you hope they don't. Could be a job loss, could be medical expenses that are unexpected, maybe repairs to home or a vehicle, things that can cost thousands of dollars that are not part of your regular spending plan, but can happen in an instant, a blink of an eye.
So I'm very curious because you said sometimes you have your people who, you've got your extremes when it comes to this. I'm really surprised. Do you have a lot of people who spend too much? Like, what exactly does that look like?
It's across the board. Sure, you have folks that are maybe spending too much and they're living paycheck to paycheck, so they really don't have an emergency fund set aside. I also see folks who are really good planners when it comes to putting money away in their retirement accounts, but not realizing that those are inaccessible without significant taxes and penalties. And then again, on the other side, we have some folks who are, maybe they're the Chicken Little, the sky is falling, and they have just a lot of cash sitting there really doing nothing for them. The bank's making money on it, they're lending it out, but it's really not serving them all that well.
That makes sense. So when I'm going through and I'm deciding, okay, I'm going to actually open up an emergency fund, put those emergency savings, put those back, how much should I make the goal of having in that account?
Okay, I'm going to sound like a broken record.
Uh-oh.
We always start with the spending plan.
Okay.
What does it cost to maintain your lifestyle? That's important. So after-tax dollars that you're spending on putting a roof over your head, food in your mouth, clothes on your back, all of those things that you need on a monthly basis, paying the energy bills, what does that spending plan look like? And then multiply that times 6 months. Some folks will say 3 to 6 months. I personally like to see our clients have at least 6 months worth of spending set aside just in case.
So why specifically 6 months? What kind of emergencies are we thinking about with that number there?
That really applies to folks, in my opinion, who are still working and haven't transitioned into retirement, and it helps protect against unexpected job loss. Maybe they get terminated, or the job just gets cut, or something happens, they're not able to work and they don't have disability insurance, or a lot of different things that come up with that, but we don't want them to have a major disruption and start going into debt in order to maintain that lifestyle.
So should maybe this look like, let's say if I'm trying to get that savings going, should it be perhaps, okay, I'm looking at every paycheck, I'm going to put back a certain amount to try to build that up? Is that something you would recommend?
Absolutely. Coming back to that spending plan, what's the cash flow coming into the household? What's the cash flow going out of the household? If somebody's feeling like things are tight, I would really put that spending plan under a microscope. Look at your spending habits, bank accounts, credit card statements over the last 3 months. Find out where you have some leakage, maybe some things that you signed up for, some of those reoccurring expenses that subscriptions and things like that to get away from us. We sign up for something, forget to cancel it, and now it's chipping away $25, $50 a month, and it's going out the door. That could be going to your emergency fund.
So is there anything else that you feel like people should know if this is something that they're wanting to invest in?
Well, I think that it's important to understand the emergency fund should be liquid and accessible. Okay. Oftentimes that's a cash account, could be a bank account, savings account, money market, even a high yield online savings account. However, if we're really getting into, I have my emergency fund, but I still want to have a little bit more of a sleep well at night account, that could also be a brokerage account invested in marketable securities. We can liquidate those into cash tomorrow. The challenge with that is I don't know what we can sell them for at any given moment, but those are still liquid accounts. But your emergency fund, I'd like to see in cash, liquid, and accessible.
Always good advice. Mark, we appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.